Greetings and salutations. Today I'm going to be making a cake from my favorite video game of all time, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Why? Because I can. Alright, I'm going to be making the royal fruit cake. Playing the game makes me so hungry half the time. I might be making a lot more of these recipes as I play more of the game. So for this cake, I'm going to be making a classic vanilla spongy cake and adding some lemon because I like lemon in my cakes. You don't have to, feel free to add orange zest or no citrus at all. It's up to you. To make this recipe, you'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of honey, 3/4 cup of canola oil or vegetable oil, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder, and an optional pinch of cardamom, the zest of 1 lemon, 4 eggs, some vanilla. I just eyeball this. I add a lot. 1 cup of milk, and I'm gonna juice a little bit of lemon, probably about a tablespoon. So I'm gonna crack my 4 eggs. So next, I'm gonna warm up my milk and oil. I'm using oil in this cake instead of butter because I just cannot stand butter in cakes. It makes a very dense cake, and I want something that's light and airy. So I'm combining my flour with my salt, my baking powder and soda, and some cardamom. So next I combine my eggs and my flour. I add the flour mixture with the baking powder in batches of 4, just mixing until combined. We don't want to over whip the batter. And now I take about a ladleful or a cup, doesn't have to be specific, add it to my hot milk and oil, kind of like to temper, kind of like you're making a custard. Instead of pouring scalding hot milk into eggs, you want to, assimilate the two so you're not ending up with a bowl of scrambled eggs. We're doing the same thing here. We're gonna add the milk combined with the batter back into our main batter bowl. Mix it until combined. About 2 batches of the liquid. And I forgot to add my lemon zest and my honey and the vanilla. So it really, in all honesty, doesn't matter when you add it, but you just want to add it for flavor. So I added it right before baking. I have the most idiot-proof way of preventing cake stickage. You want to cut out circles of parchment paper, not wax paper. Do not do that. Parchment paper to fit the shape of the cake pan, and you're gonna place at the bottom of the pan, and no cake is gonna stick to the bottom now. You still want to spray it generously with, I'm gonna use baking spray, which has flour already incorporated into it, but you're welcome to use like butter and flour, traditional method, but if it makes my life easier, why not? So now I'm gonna bake this cake until golden brown and a cake tester comes out clean without any, residual batter on it. So it usually takes me about 30 to 35 minutes in a 325 convection oven, or you can use a 350 degree conventional oven. And while the cake was baking, I played Zelda, so I highly recommend doing that, or do the dishes, but I play Zelda. Now I'm making a stabilized whipped cream frosting, and what that means is it's just gonna hold up better. So to start off, I combine a teaspoon of gelatin with about a tablespoon of cold water, and I let that intermingle until it looks like applesauce, and then put it in the microwave for intervals of 5 seconds until the gelatin is completely melted. And at this point I add in about a tablespoon of cream, and I prepare my bowl and my whisk attachment for my stand mixer to whip up the cream. I add my remaining 1.5 pints, 3 cups of heavy cream to my chilled bowl, and I whip until soft peaks, and I have the sugar inside as well. And once soft peaks form, you want to add in your gelatin. And this is the hardest part of the whole thing. You want to be very vigilant, because if you turn your back for like literally 20 seconds, you could go from having perfect whipped cream to butter. And trust me, that's not good. I've done that before too. Now, of course, on the day that I chose to make this, it was horrendously humid and over 90 degrees. So I had some problems with decorating. The cake, the cream was a little gloopy, but I put the cream back in the fridge and I put the whole cake in the fridge, and it eventually came together for me. Then I gave my cake a generous crumb coat, and this is where I had the issues with the gloopiness. But when I fixed the temperature problems, those issues were not as bad. It still looked a little bit more on the homemade side, but who cares? It's gonna be delicious. And I'm sure Link didn't have air conditioning, so I'm sure he would have run into the same problems that I ran into on this day. I put the cake back in the fridge while I cut some orange slices and some lime slices, and prepared the rest of my fruit toppings. I just followed the image of the game. I put 3 blueberries right in front of the lime. I put a raspberry or some sort of red fruit, like a red grape or strawberry. And then I put a green grape in the center or at the edge. And you could do this 2 ways. You could do it as the whole cake like I did, or you could take each individual slice and decorate it. And I made this cake for a birthday, so I lit some candles and it looked really cool. The birthday girl had no idea what it was. It was my mother, but it still tasted really good. It tasted like summer. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you try to make this cake soon. Until next time.